When you think about a kiss, it's easy to focus on the physical, the warmth of the lips, the closeness of the body, the rhythm of breathing that sinks for a fleeting moment. But a kiss that truly stays in the memory doesn't come from physical chemistry alone. It's born from intention. Every kiss carries a vibration, a silent message that travels from your soul to his. The power of a kiss doesn't lie in where it lands, but in what it says without words. The energy behind it can either awaken something deep within him or leave him untouched. When you approach a kiss with mindfulness and emotion, you transform it from a routine gesture into something magnetic and unforgettable. Men, like anyone, can sense authenticity. They might not analyze it consciously, but they feel it. The difference between a kiss that excites and one that connects is the intention you bring into it. If your kiss says, "I see you, I want you, I choose you," it reaches a place deeper than desire. It becomes a transmission of certainty, of feminine confidence, of presence. It's not about technique, it's about energy. A man can forget the curve of your lips, but never the way he felt when you kissed him with pure intention. That feeling imprints on him. It touches something beyond attraction. It speaks to his spirit. Intention transforms a kiss from action into art. When you kiss with genuine care, curiosity, and admiration, you turn an ordinary moment into one that changes how he experiences connection. Every man wants to be wanted, not out of habit or convenience, but from genuine fascination. When he feels that your kiss carries awareness, when it's not rushed or thoughtless, it tells him he's not just another body. He's being met in a space of emotion, of presence, of truth. And that's what men crave far more than they admit. They crave the feeling that the woman in front of them fulfills him, not just touches him. Think of it this way: the lips may move, but the message comes from the heart. When your energy is calm, open, and grounded, he feels it. When it's anxious or seeking validation, he feels that too. A kiss mirrors your emotional state. It reveals what's happening inside you. That's why the power of intention is so crucial. It shapes the entire experience. A kiss driven by fear or need will always feel hollow, no matter how passionate it appears. But a kiss given with ease and self-assured energy becomes magnetic. It carries emotional weight because it comes from a place of abundance, not desperation. So before you kiss him, pause. Take a breath. Feel what you want to communicate: admiration, appreciation, warmth. Let your energy soften, not because you're trying to please him, but because you're allowing yourself to be fully present. That's what men remember. That's what melts them. When your intention aligns with your emotion, you create something timeless. Because a kiss, in its purest form, is an unspoken confession of energy. It's a moment where words fall short and truth steps in. It's the invisible power that turns a simple touch into an unforgettable imprint. Every man, no matter how confident or composed he appears, carries an inner world that few ever see. Beneath the surface of jokes, ambition, and calm control lies a landscape filled with quiet hopes, unspoken fears, and a deep desire to be truly understood. Society has taught men to armor themselves, to lead with strength, to speak less and endure more. Yet within that restraint exists a longing, not to be fixed, not to be analyzed, but to be seen. The emotional map of a man's mind isn't drawn in words, it's written in gestures, reactions, silences, and the rare moments when his guard slips. When you learn to read that map, you learn where connection begins. You learn how a kiss can do more than stir desire. It can awaken trust, belonging, and safety. Men often express what they cannot say through the smallest cues. The way he exhales when he feels your closeness, the pause before he leans in, the stillness after your lips meet. All of these are emotional signatures. They tell you more about his heart than his voice ever could. When you kiss him with awareness of his emotional depth, you don't just reach his body, you reach the parts of him that have gone unacknowledged for years. A man may not articulate that he wants comfort or emotional security, but his body knows when it feels them. It softens, it lets go. A kiss given with empathy. one that carries calmness and reassurance, can untangle the tension he never knew he was holding. Understanding a man's emotional map requires patience. It means noticing when his silence hides uncertainty, when his humor masks fatigue, when his confidence is a shield for vulnerability. Every man has moments when he doubts if he's enough, when he questions if his efforts are truly seen. A woman who can tune into that and meet him there, not through interrogation but through warmth, holds the kind of influence that no charm or beauty can compete with. When you kiss him from that place of understanding, it's not just affection, it's validation. It tells him, without language, that he's allowed to drop the act, to be himself, to rest in the certainty that he's valued beyond what he provides. The emotional connection a man feels through a kiss depends on how safe he feels in your presence. If your energy is chaotic or uncertain, he instinctively guards himself. But if your energy is steady, calm, and open, he lets you in further than words ever could. Men respond not to pressure, but to presence. A kiss backed by emotional attunement becomes a bridge between his guarded world and your open one. It tells him he doesn't have to fight to be noticed, he already is. And that subtle emotional exchange can mean more than passion alone. It's what transforms attraction into trust. To truly understand a man's emotional landscape, you must stop trying to interpret everything he says and start feeling everything he doesn't. His silences speak, his stillness speaks, his reaction to your energy speaks. A kiss becomes powerful when it's not just an expression of attraction, but an act of emotional listening. It's the moment when he realizes that you don't just want his attention, you want his truth. And for a man who spends his life hiding behind armor, that realization is more intimate than any physical closeness could ever be. A kiss on the forehead carries a language of its own, one that doesn't scream desire but whispers safety. It's the kind of gesture that speaks straight to the part of a man that the world rarely touches, the part that longs to be still, to breathe, to not have to prove anything. When you kiss a man on the forehead, you touch something deeper than attraction. You reach the quiet, unguarded space within him that craves peace more than passion. The forehead is not just skin, it's the gateway to his thoughts, the place where tension collects and worries live. A kiss there isn't about igniting fire, it's about calming storms. It tells him he doesn't have to be strong right now. It tells him that, in this moment, he can just be. Most men live their lives carrying invisible weight, the pressure to lead, to succeed, to hold everything together. They walk through the world appearing composed while their minds run with constant noise. A forehead kiss is a pause in that noise. It says, you don't need to perform here, you are enough, exactly as you are. That's why it hits differently. It bypasses his defenses and speaks directly to the inner child still yearning for gentleness in a world that demands toughness from him. That single kiss reminds him of tenderness. It's not about romance in the traditional sense, it's about emotional grounding. It tells him he's valued for who he is, not what he does. There's something profoundly healing in the act of kissing a man's forehead because it shifts the dynamic from physical attraction to emotional connection. It's not about taking, it's about giving. It's not about wanting, it's about appreciating. The forehead kiss is often overlooked because it doesn't carry the obvious sensuality of a kiss on the lips or neck. But that's what makes it powerful. It's rare. It communicates something that words can't. It's quiet reassurance. It's respect. It's love stripped of conditions. It's saying, I see the man behind the armor, and I honor him. And when that kind of energy reaches him, he softens. He doesn't just feel kissed, he feels understood. This kind of kiss holds emotional intelligence. It's not driven by the need to provoke or excite, but by the desire to connect. It tells a man that you value his mind as much as his body. When your lips meet his forehead, you're connecting with the thoughts that never leave his head, the worries he never confesses, the dreams he rarely shares. You're offering something few people ever do, a safe space for his spirit. That single act can reset his energy. It can make him feel seen in a way no conversation ever could. A forehead kiss doesn't need words or timing, it only needs presence. When you do it, don't rush. Let your energy be calm and centered. Touch him as if you're reassuring his soul, not his ego. Men may not always express it, but this is one of the deepest gestures of affection they crave. It makes them feel cared for in a way they don't often allow themselves to be. It's the kind of touch that stays with him long after it's over because it connects to something timeless. His need for belonging, his longing to be accepted without having to earn it, and his quiet hope that someone will one day love him not for his strength but for his humanity. The neck is one of the most overlooked yet most intimate places a man can be kissed. It's where vulnerability hides beneath the surface, where the pulse reveals emotion before words can form. When you kiss a man on the neck, you touch both his tension and his surrender at once. You reach the place where control begins to fade, where instinct awakens. The neck holds a balance between sensitivity and strength, and when your lips find it, you bridge those two worlds. It's not about lust alone, it's about awakening presence. It's about saying, without a sound, you can stop trying to be composed. You can just feel. That's the power that lies in such a small, quiet gesture. It unlocks something primal and emotional all at once. For a man, the neck is often an area he doesn't even realize craves attention until it's touched with intention. It's a place rarely kissed yet deeply responsive because it carries both physical and emotional charge. When you lean in, your breath brushing his skin before your lips meet it, his entire body reacts before he even understands why. It's instinctual. The body recognizes tenderness before the mind can analyze it. That's what makes it so magnetic. It bypasses logic, pride, and thought. It goes straight to feeling. It's the kind of moment that pulls him out of his head and into his senses. A kiss there becomes a reminder that connection doesn't always need words or explanations. It just needs presence. Men often live with the pressure of control over emotions, decisions, and even how they express desire. But the neck is where control becomes invitation. When you kiss him there, you invite him to let go, to experience without overthinking, to receive rather than perform. It's the space where dominance and vulnerability meet, and both can coexist without conflict. That's why it holds such allure. It's not just the physical touch that matters, it's the energy that surrounds it. When done with confidence and calm intention, it communicates permission. Permission to drop his guard, to be fully in the moment, to feel desired rather than expected to lead. There's a rhythm in how you kiss the neck that can tell a story all on its own. A slow, lingering touch speaks of admiration and appreciation, while a teasing brush of the lips conveys playfulness and curiosity. Each variation sends a different message, yet the essence remains the same. It's about emotional depth, hidden inside physical connection. A kiss on the neck doesn't demand attention. It commands it quietly. It's not forceful, it's magnetic. It doesn't chase, it draws in. It's the space between passion and serenity, between wanting and trusting. That's why it holds such lasting power. It's not just about attraction, it's about emotional chemistry felt in silence. When you kiss his neck with genuine energy, he feels it through his entire body. It's not just sensation, it's communication. It says, I see your strength, but I also see your sensitivity. It brings out a side of him he rarely shows, a side that's not about dominance or control, but about surrender and trust. That's what makes it unforgettable. It reaches the hidden parts of him, the ones buried under daily restraint. It tells him, without words, that you're not afraid of his intensity, that you can meet it with equal depth. In that brief moment, a simple kiss becomes a powerful exchange of emotion and energy, one that grounds him in the present and reminds him of the beauty in simply letting go. A man's hands tell stories that words never could. They hold the memory of every struggle, every act of creation, every quiet attempt to protect or provide. His hands are often the first part of him to take action and the last to rest. They carry strength, but also exhaustion, control, but also yearning. When you take his hand and bring it close, when you kiss it with intention, you touch something symbolic, his identity as both protector and human being. For a man, his hands are his signature in the world, his way of building, fixing, holding, and expressing. To have them kissed is to have that unspoken story acknowledged, to feel that someone sees beyond what he does and recognizes who he is. Kissing a man's hand is not a submissive act, it's a reverent one. It's a small, powerful way to say, I respect your effort, your care, your strength. Men are not often met with that kind of tenderness. They're praised for their achievements, admired for their confidence, desired for their presence, but rarely appreciated for their quiet acts of devotion, for the unseen moments when they carry burdens no one else notices. When you kiss his hand, you bring attention to those parts of him. You remind him that his strength doesn't make him less deserving of softness. You show him that his effort is seen and that his care doesn't go unnoticed. There's something deeply grounding about physical connection through the hands. It's the meeting point between giving and receiving. When you hold his hand and trace your fingers over it before pressing your lips to his skin, it creates a current of awareness, an energy exchange that communicates reassurance, admiration, and presence. It says, you don't have to do anything right now. Just be here. That kind of moment disarms a man because it touches the side of him that's used to giving but rarely being given to. In that small gesture, you shift the balance. You allow him to experience tenderness without needing to earn it. Hands are both tools of action and symbols of care. They protect, but they also comfort. They build, but they also hold. When you acknowledge them with a kiss, you bring together both sides of his nature, the provider and the dreamer, the fighter and the lover. It's a reminder that his worth isn't measured only by what he accomplishes, but also by who he is beneath the effort. That one kiss can calm his mind in ways words cannot, because it bypasses logic and speaks directly to his sense of being valued. It reassures him that he doesn't have to constantly lead to be loved, that his touch is not his only offering, that even the strength in his hands deserves gentleness in return. A man remembers the feeling of that kind of attention because it's so rare. It humbles him without diminishing him. It's a gesture that says, I honor the hands that work, that protect, that give, but I also honor the heart that guides them. When your lips meet his skin, the moment becomes more than affection. It becomes a reflection of gratitude, an acknowledgement of his humanity. It reminds him that beneath the expectations of strength lies the simple need to be cherished. That kind of kiss doesn't just touch his body. It reaches into the quiet space of his being where appreciation and vulnerability meet, creating a sense of connection that lingers long after the touch fades. The most powerful place to kiss a man can't be found on his skin. It exists within his mind. Long before your lips ever meet, connection begins in the unseen spaces where energy, curiosity, and emotional awareness intertwine. To truly kiss a man, you have to reach the part of him that no one else tries to touch. The thoughts he hides, the insecurities he masks, the ambitions he quietly chases. Every man carries an internal world that shapes how he receives love, and when you speak to that world with presence and authenticity, you leave an imprint that no physical gesture can match. The kiss of the mind is subtle but unforgettable. It's the feeling that someone understands you without you having to explain yourself. When you engage with a man on that deeper level, when you admire his vision, challenge his thoughts, and see the man behind the behavior, you kiss him mentally. You tell him that he's more than his appearance, his status, or his confidence. You tell him that you see the invisible things that drive him, the fears that push him forward, the passions that keep him awake at night, the softness he guards from the world. Most men spend their lives being desired for what they show, not for what they are. A woman who can reach into his thoughts, who can understand his silence, who can inspire him to open up without judgment, gives him something that no surface attraction can replace. That's what it means to kiss his mind. You create a sanctuary where he can be seen without performing. The connection that happens on this level doesn't rely on physical proximity, it thrives on emotional depth. It's the way your energy feels when you enter a room, the way you listen with curiosity instead of conclusion, the way you make him feel that his ideas matter. When you do that, you awaken his masculine spirit, not through validation, but through inspiration. He starts to feel drawn to you not because of your beauty, but because of the way his soul feels more alive around you. That's the true intimacy men crave, but rarely find. It's the kind of closeness that makes every touch more meaningful, because it's built on something unspoken, but deeply felt. The mental and emotional kiss is also about energy alignment. It's when your presence communicates safety, when your tone tells him he can relax, when your attention shows that he's not competing for your interest. It's not manipulation, it's awareness. You become attuned to what he values, how he thinks, and how he moves through life. You mirror that understanding not through words, but through how you connect. Every compliment, every moment of encouragement, every glance of admiration becomes a kiss that tells his mind, "You're understood here." For a man, that is one of the most seductive experiences of all, to be mentally and emotionally met. To kiss his mind is to make him feel that you're not just drawn to his presence, but connected to his essence. It's the art of engaging him intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually all at once. It's the way you challenge his growth while still making him feel accepted. It's the way your energy expands rather than demands. When you master that kind of connection, every other kiss, whether on his lips, his neck, or his hands, becomes more potent because it's supported by something real. It's not just passion, it's resonance. It's the echo of a bond that exists before touch and remains long after it ends.